Me, Dax Moy from Fitness Marketing Made Simple, back with another short video in the 30-day YouTube challenge series. And today's day 9, and in today's video, I want to share with you something really simple, really bloody obvious, but that hardly anybody is doing. And it's this: it's recycling your content. Recycling your content, using your content over and over and over and over and over again. See, here's my theory on this. If your message was important enough, if it was good enough to share once, it should be really good enough to share over and over again, right? And yet here's what happens: everyone like sweats the content creation process, and they put their heart and soul into putting something together, and then they put it out to the world on that moment, like when you press send, and that's it. You forget about it, and then tomorrow you're like, okay, well, what can I create now? And the next day, what can I create now? And then what can I create now? And we tend to forget just how much content we've created. But we also forget, and this is really important, we also forget that there are people just entering our sphere of influence right now for the very first time. So we have this imagination that we posted a video 3 months ago, we wrote a blog post 6 months ago, and that was it. Like, the people that know us, like us, trust us, have already read it, and that's it. Why would they ever want to see that content again? Well, here's a few perspectives for you. Number one, absolutely brand new people entering your sphere of influence every single day. If a message was really important and you wrote it 3 months ago, how are they ever going to get to hear that message? How are they ever going to get to find out about it, right? Next thing, the people that could have really benefited by the message, even if they were already in your sphere of influence, may not have seen it, okay, or may not have had time to watch it, or may not have had time to read it, or maybe it just didn't resonate with them at that specific moment in time on their journey. So like you do, they looked at it and went, yeah, I don't think I'll check that one out today. I've got a lot of stuff on. Maybe I'll watch that video later. Maybe I'll read that blog post later, and they never ever get around to it. So there's all these people in your sphere of influence that have never ever seen your content, right? So the challenge for today here is to get you thinking a little bit more about repurposing your content, recycling it, sending it back through the loops over and over and over and over again. And that means that if you've got an autoresponder series set up, which you should have, if you've got a website with a autoresponder on it, then feeding your videos, feeding your blog content into those autoresponders, so that, you know, day 15 of me having first stumbled across your site and put my name in the box, I watch a video that you think is a really important part of your story, or a really important paradigm, or a really important principle or philosophy that you really want to share, right? I've got to come across that, because otherwise I don't get this opportunity to come closer and closer and closer to you and actually really meet you in your philosophy, right? So that's the first thing, like loading some of this stuff into your autoresponders. And to be honest, the best way to do this is at the time. You've just written a blog post and go, okay, where do I want to feed that into my autoresponder? And then next day, my email inbox comes across, hey Dax, I've just written this great post, right? So for me, you've just written it today because I'm already in your autoresponder series. But in 3 months' time, when somebody new comes into it, they also are going to make sure, you know, you're going to make sure that they actually meet that content. So there's the first thing. Next, you can use reposts in something like Hootsuite, for example. If you don't have a Hootsuite account, go and get one. And you can recycle your content. You can program it in there so that this same video is going to go out several times. Because here's the truth, right? You place a post up and you think, well, I've already spoken about this. People can't possibly want to hear from me about this again. Remember, people are in and out of different phases across the course of the day, the week, the month, the year. Right? You want people to meet your message over and over and over again. And if it really was that important, you want them to meet it several times, not just once. Okay? So it's interesting, because the most popular of my material is readable. You know, same people will say to me in a comment, hey, I read this a year ago and it's still just as relevant now, if not more so. Right? Thanks for posting it again. This is where I want you. This is where I want you to start thinking about reposting your content. So when you put your content out, post it multiple times. Post it everywhere you show up on the web, right? You want it on your blog pages somewhere. You want it posted, you know, on your Twitter links. You want it posted on Facebook, and you want it posted on Facebook several times today, right? Several times today, and several times across the course of the coming week. And then, yeah, you can taper it down, but then have it in your autoresponders, okay? So really, really simple idea, really simple concept, but don't underestimate the power of recycling your material. And in fact, not just don't underestimate it, I can tell you, you are actively harming your business if you don't recycle. Okay, so this has been me, Dax Moy, day 9, the 30-day YouTube challenge. Go put this into practice. Let me see a bit more recycling going on. You take care.